You know, we've talked on this show before about Ellie's Place and the incredible work they do for grieving kids and their families here in West Michigan. But today, the focus is on you because, well, they need you. We're talking volunteering and how you can help provide the amazing support that's changed so many families' lives. Joining us now, Karen Ketterer. She's the program director at Ellie's Place, West Michigan. Thanks for being here, Karen.
Thanks so much for having me, Todd.
This is a big deal because these volunteers are desperately needed. Let's start with what Ellie's Place does as a whole, so maybe somebody could get a feel for what they're getting into.
Right. Ellie's Place provides free grief support groups for children ages 3 through the end of high school who've experienced the death of someone close to them. And we also have groups for their adults who bring them.
Absolutely, because the whole family is affected. But let's hone in a little bit on why there is an Ellie's Place for this. Because grief is a little bit different for kids than it is for grown-ups.
It is, right? They have to grieve in a very different way than adults do. We might have conversations about it. They need to play through it. And it is very helpful for them to be with other kids their age as they're doing that, learn from each other, and find that community, because sometimes it can feel very isolating to have experienced the death of somebody and not have any friends around you that have had something similar happen.
Yeah, no parent wants to hear that, but they might not want to talk to you. They might be more likely to open up to their peers and to their friends. And this social group, this social setting really flourishes there. It's encouraged,
yes.
And that's how this works. So why are those volunteers so important? Obviously, I think we know the reason, providing that grief. Let's talk about then, what will these volunteers be doing? What would a facilitator be doing at Ellie's Place?
Yeah, so our children's groups are facilitated by our volunteers. That is how we are able to provide this service free to our families. They're overseen and trained by our clinical staff at Ellie's Place. So they get to work as a group of 3 or 4 facilitators and plan activities that, we help them plan for the kids and just be there to help the kids connect with one another.
Okay. It sounds like they're not going to be alone. So it's not like you're a volunteer coming in, they're just going to set you off on your own little island. No, you're going to be with a group.
Yep.
You're going to get some training, all right? Mm-hmm. What does that training involve? How intensive is that?
Yeah, we have our training coming up in a few weeks, and what that consists of is there's an online module that you kind of look through, and then we have 2 Zoom sessions that take place in the evening, and then 1 Saturday session. And it really allows you to kind of practice those listening skills that kids need, learn just all the different ins and outs of childhood grief and how to lean on us whenever you need it, and bond with some of the other folks that you'll be doing this with.
Yeah, you might find your own community as well, right?
That's
Just
right,
like those kids are doing, you might find yours as well. And this is important work that's happening in West Michigan. And as you heard, it's happening for free. So when is that facilitator thing happening? You said a few weeks. Got a date?
Yep, the first week in August.
Okay.
Our Zoom sessions are on August 3rd and 6th, and the Saturday session is August 8th. Mm-hmm. And we would love to see some people get signed up for that.
I guess I should ask who. Is there an age limit? Is there a certain requirement to do this?
The only requirement is that you be out of high school, because we want the kids who are there to not be running into their peers as facilitators. But other than that, you don't have to have any prior experience. We do all that training, and I think the best people to connect with those kids are just everyday people who have some kind of, feeling towards this mission. Maybe they had their own grief story as they were kids, or, maybe they just hear about this and feel like this is something I could do.
I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah.
What's the commitment? I mean, we all know we're going to get trained here early August, and then how long, how many days am I showing up for how long?
Yeah, our groups run kind of on a school schedule, so September through May. Mm-hmm. The commitment would be 1 evening a week, either Mondays or Thursdays. It's about 5:30 to 9, although we usually get you out of there by 8:30.
Okay.
And you come in. We do a briefing and a debriefing each evening so that you have plenty of time to process anything. And then the groups themselves are an hour. And
Sounds like you've got it all laid out pretty
It
simple,
is,
Karen.
yep.
Yeah. Now all we need are some people.
Now we just need some people who have a heart for this and would like to come help some grieving kids in our area.
Well, if that's you, I bet you're going to get a lot from it as well.
Yeah.
That volunteer facilitator training, as you heard, happening August first week there. I think it's the 3rd and the 6th. They got a couple of Zoom sessions. If you're interested, there's a website, and it is...
The website is elliesplace.org. There's also a QR code that will take you right to a Google form you can fill out.
Okay.
And
stop the presses. Take your phones out right now. Get your smartphones out. Put it right at that QR code, and it'll take you right to where you need to go. Or of course, you can always go to elliesplace.org.
Yeah.
Karen, thank you so much for the time this morning.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.